Hey, welcome back to Storytelling English. I'm Zach, and today we're diving into how real stories make your English clearer, warmer, and easier to remember. If this chat helps you, tap subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
And I'm Emily. Stories stick because they carry feelings and pictures. When you tell one, people lean in. You learn words in context, and you hear how sentences flow in real life. That's the magic.
Quick word, anecdote. It means a short, true story. Anecdotes make language sticky. Last week, I told a tiny coffee shop story to a neighbor, and we became friends because the details felt real and human.
I remember my first team meeting years ago. I was nervous, so I used simple sequence words. First, we tested the app. Then, users got confused on one screen. Finally, we fixed the button. People followed me. Sequence just means the order of events. It calmed me and the room.
Another helpful word, hook. A hook is the opening that makes people want to listen. For example, picture this. The deadline is in 2 hours and the file won't open. Boom, now we care. Hooks focus attention.
And don't forget takeaway, the useful lesson at the end. It's the so what. Like, next time I'll back up my files and ask for help earlier. Short, honest, practical. Natural pauses also help listeners breathe and process the story.
Speaking of that, I once burned pancakes in a hostel kitchen while practicing a presentation. First, I tried to talk too fast. Then I lost my place. Finally, I slowed down, and the second batch and the talk both turned out great. The takeaway? Pace beats panic.
What helped you slow down in the moment? Was it a trick or just experience from messing up those pancakes?
Two things, vivid verbs and breath. Vivid means lively. Instead of I went, I said I hurried, I flipped, I paused. Strong verbs paint pictures, so I didn't need extra words. I also took a quiet breath between ideas. That small pause kept the story clean.
Let's recap. A helpful story has a hook, a clear setting, a simple sequence, vivid verbs, and a takeaway. Think of a tiny moment from your week, maybe a bus delay or a kind cashier, and shape it with those pieces. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe and stay with us.
Also, share your 1-minute story in the comments. We read them and sometimes we feature one. Subscribing helps the show reach more learners who want friendly, real English in their ears.
Up next, we'll talk about setting the scene, people, place, and time, so your listeners can see what you saw. Stick around. This part makes everything easier.
Let's dig into setting the scene. People, place, and time. Think of it like a quick checklist at the start of any story. Who's there, where you are, and when it's happening.
Picture this. Monday, 7:40 a.m. A tiny bakery near my bus stop. The street is quiet. The sky is overcast, that means cloudy, and the doorbell gives a soft ding. I've got an interview at 9. The baker, Anna, slides a warm blueberry muffin across the counter and says, "Good luck." Instantly, you can feel the place, right? That's setting. Setting just means the background of your story. When you give one or two clear details, the smell of cinnamon, the small round table by the window, listeners can see it, and they relax into the moment.
I can see it, and I can almost taste the muffin. Quick question. Who are the key people in that scene, besides you and Anna?
A man with a red umbrella waiting outside, and a kid counting coins by the register. Small characters add life. Also, context, the situation around the story, helps. I was early, a little nervous, so I slowed down and breathed in the bakery smell.
Here's one from me. Last winter, 8:03 a.m., platform 3 at the train station. It's rush hour. That's the busiest travel time. The loudspeaker crackles, breath turns to mist, and my manager texts, "Running late?" Those tiny markers, time, place, a message, pull listeners into the moment.
A quick tool. Choose one landmark, an easy-to-see place, like the blue bench by Platform 3 or the mural with orange birds. One landmark is enough to anchor the picture without crowding the story.
Keep it specific, which means exact. I'll say, 7:58, the first train whistles, not around 8. Or, the cafe on Pine Street, not a cafe. 2 precise details beat 5 vague ones.
Do you start with time or place first? I usually start with place because it sets the mood fast, like dim light and wooden chairs. Then I drop in the timestamp.
I start with people because feelings hook me. Sam, my neighbor, waves from across the platform. Then I add place and time so the listener's feet land on solid ground.
Speaking of mood, my bus finally arrived and splashed a puddle onto my shoes. A woman handed me a tissue and smiled. That tiny moment told the feeling. Nerves melting into calm. The scene did the work without long explanations.
Quick recap. Name the people, name the place, name the time. Add one landmark and one sensory detail, sound, smell, or light. That's your strong foundation for any story you tell next. Today is all about flow, how events connect from first to finally. Think of transitions as small signposts. They guide the listener through your story without confusion, even when things go wrong.
Let me share a quick morning from last month. First, I left home early for a client workshop. Then, my GPS froze. Meanwhile, a light drizzle started and traffic slowed. Suddenly, the exit I needed was closed. After that, I followed a detour. Detour means another route. And I texted, "Running 5 minutes late." Because I stayed calm, I noticed a side street by a flower shop. Finally, I arrived on time, damp shoes but clear head, and the workshop went smoothly.
I like how the sequence kept me with you. If you had to cut it shorter for a hallway update, which 2 moments would you keep, and which transition helped most?
I'd keep the GPS freeze and the closed exit. Then, and after that, were my anchors. Chronological, time order, kept it simple, and the short text message showed progress without extra detail.
Here's mine. First, our app crashed during a live demo. Next, we paused the screen share. Meanwhile, I told a 20-second story about a user to keep the room calm. After that, Mia rebooted, and finally, we finished with one clear takeaway.
That reminds me, transitions also carry emotion. Meanwhile, buys time without panic. Suddenly, raises the energy. Finally, signals closure, so people relax. Tiny words, big control.
Quick vocabulary pit stop. Consequence connectors. Because links cause, so shows result. I spilled coffee because I rushed, so I changed shirts. Short, honest lines keep the rhythm clean.
Mini recap. Choose one path. Time order works most days. Use 3 to 5 transitions, not 10. Keep sentences short when the action is fast, and slow down as you close.
If you forget the words, use a simple spine. First, then, after that, finally. Add one feeling or detail to each step, and you've got a clear human story.
Speaking of closure, we'll shift next to showing a challenge with vivid verbs, so your middle has real tension and your ending feels earned.
Let's dig a little deeper into showing the challenge, the messy middle. When pressure rises, 3 things carry your story: emotions, vivid verbs, and concrete details. They keep listeners close without extra explanations.
Last spring, I ran a workshop in a library basement. 5 minutes before we started, the printer jammed. I tugged the tray, a red light flashed, and my palms prickled. My stomach clenched. Clenched means squeezed tight. Paper smelled like warm ink. 15 faces waited. I swallowed and lifted my hand to the group.
What did you do to steady yourself? And which detail did you choose first to pull everyone into the moment?
I named the feeling. I'm a bit jittery. Then I named one action. Give me 60 seconds. I breathed out, counted 3, and switched plans. I waved to Mia to cue Plan B. We hauled a backup screen, taped quick signs, and moved on. I kept one sensory thread, the hum of the AC, bright lights, and a messy paper stack. Just enough detail, not a flood.
I've got a parallel moment. During a video interview at home, my neighbor started drilling. The wall rattled, a dog barked downstairs, and my heart thumped. Instead of pretending nothing happened, I acknowledged it and pivoted to a headset. I kept my sentences short so meaning cut through the noise.
What line did you use with the panel? Did it lower the tension in the room?
I said, "Quick heads up, my building is fixing pipes. I'll keep my answers sharp. If the noise spikes, I'll repeat." Heads up means a short warning. Their faces softened, shoulders dropped, and the tension dipped right away.
Notice how emotion plus action builds trust. Also, a small anchor detail helps. Pick one color, sound, or object. I might mention a blue folder, the faint buzz of a light, or the chipped desk edge. Those details make the moment feel real without drowning the story.
I use a zoom-in trick. Describe one object. My cracked mug kept sliding toward the keyboard. I steadied it with a coaster. That tiny image grounded me, and it grounded the listeners, too.
Another tool, verb swap. Replace weak is, was with lively moves. I shuffled notes, tightened the strap on my bag, and scribbled a time on the corner page. Vivid just means lively and clear, like a picture you can feel.
Add one purpose line to guide the mood. I want this role because I care about clear design. Purpose reframes stress into direction, so the challenge looks meaningful, not random.
Mini recap. Name the feeling, show one action, choose 2 or 3 sensory details, use vivid verbs, and add a short purpose line. Simple moves, strong impact.
Speaking of control, micropauses matter. After my heads up, I let the silence breathe for 2 heartbeats. The room relaxed, and my voice slowed to a steady pace.
Final note before we turn the corner. Challenges aren't villains, they're fuel. When you reveal feeling and focus your details, people start rooting for you. Next, we'll talk about the turning point and the outcome. How the energy shifts from problem to progress.
Today's focus is the turning point, the instant a story shifts. Use cause and effect. Because gives reason, so shows result, but adds an obstacle, therefore points to your decision and outcome.
2 months ago, I arrived late to an interview. The subway stalled. The carriage went quiet. My watch ticked. I walked in 5 minutes behind. That pressure point could sink or save me. I paused, smiled, and said, "Thanks for waiting. Because the train stalled, I'm 5 minutes behind, so I'd like to start with my portfolio while you settle in." That sentence flipped the mood to cooperation.
Smart move. What made you choose that line in the moment? Was it planned, or did the room push you toward it?
A bit of both. I keep a rescue line ready. Naming the cause lowered tension. Offering a next step gave control. Outcome? Clear questions and an email later. Second round invitation. Lesson? Name, propose, proceed.
That reminds me of a product sprint drifting off course. Tasks slipped because roles were fuzzy, so frustration grew. The turning point came when I asked, "What's the smallest change that helps today?" We added a 10-minute stand-up at 9:40. As a result, blockers surfaced fast. Therefore, we swapped one task and paired two people. The domino effect, one change causing others, pushed us to delivery and lifted morale.
Try this skeleton. Because X happened, so I did Y. But Z appeared, therefore I chose W and got result R. Simple and honest, it keeps listeners oriented.
Quick kitchen example. Because water boiled over, I lowered heat, but the sauce thickened. Therefore, I added a little broth and rescued dinner. Same spine, ordinary moment, clear result.
Two helpful words. Trigger, the cause that starts trouble, and remedy, the helpful action. When you state both, your story sounds responsible and focused.
Recap. Identify the cause, show the pivot, connect outcome and lesson. Think of last week and test the skeleton aloud on your walk or commute.
Speaking of lessons, next we'll close with final advice and quick prompts, so your next story ends strong and stays with listeners.
Let's land this with simple next steps. You've got the pieces: setting, sequence, challenge, turning point, outcome, and lesson. Now we'll share quick prompts and habits so your stories feel clear and confident.
Try a 60-second story tonight. Use this arc. Set the scene in one line, name the problem, show the shift, end with the result and a tiny lesson. Short, honest, human.
Record a voice note on your phone. Listen once. Mark one place to add a vivid verb or a pause. The word prompt just means a small idea that starts your story.
Speaking of that, yesterday my bus crawled through traffic. First, I worried. Then I breathed and planned. After that, I drafted an opening line. Finally, I arrived calm and on time. Micro pauses made it sound steady.
What helped you keep it short instead of adding every detail about the ride or the weather?
A one-sentence headline. Headline means the short summary. Slow bus, calm plan, strong start. I said it first, then told the tiny story. Afterward, I did a quick debrief, just a short review to note what worked.
Team up with a friend for a buddy swap. Share 2 minutes each. Ask only 2 questions. Where did you get lost? Which verb popped? Keep it kind, specific, and practical.
Build a mini word bank. I like rushed, fumbled, steadied, pivoted, glanced, waved. Pick 3 and aim to use 1 next time. Strong verbs carry feeling without long explanations.
For cause and effect, lean on this spine. Because X happened, I did Y. But Z appeared. Therefore, I chose W and got result R. Speak it while walking or cooking. Easy, low pressure.
Need tiny scene ideas? Try a green umbrella stuck in a door, the smell of burnt toast, or your phone ping during a meeting. One concrete detail anchors the picture.
Quick recap. Start with a headline, follow the spine, add 1 sensory detail, choose 1 vivid verb, and breathe between beats. Celebrate each milestone. Milestone means a small step that shows progress.
Share your one-line hook in the comments and tell us how your 60-second story went. Follow and subscribe if this helped, and join us next time for more real-life storytelling moves. You've got this.